Hey team, this is a quick one. This is 3 books that completely rewired my thinking and helped me on my portfolio career journey. Literally changed the trajectory of my career with influence, with impact, and with identity. So if you're in the NHS or you're a doctor and you're kind of feeling stuck or unsure, then this video is probably going to help you. Because guess what? You don't actually need another degree. You might not even need another certification, but what you do need is a new lens. I'm Dr. Nix, the creator of Portfolio Launch, and I help doctors design careers outside of the traditional clinical medicine so that you can have alternative income streams without burning out and without having to leave clinical medicine cold turkey, because let's face it, some of us enjoy clinical medicine and we want to stay involved. So if that sounds like you, hit the subscribe button and let's get into the first book. Now, the first book here is, this book slapped me in the face. It's Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley. Now, this book was released about 15 years ago. And in this book, he really challenges the status quo. At that point in time, there weren't that many people online. And his argument, or what he's telling us, is that we need to be visible. Doctors are not taught to be visible. They're taught to be quiet experts. They're taught to be smart. They're taught to problem solve, but not to really promote themselves or ask for very much. But that's not the way the market works. The NHS system, if you're in the UK, is an artificial system. There's a monopoly from the employer, but in the real world, the economy doesn't reward quiet experts. The economy rewards people who are able to package their value. And that's what this book dives into. It dives into how to pitch yourself, how to publish yourself, and how to package yourself into offers. And that is a theme within Portfolio Launch. And I've built a system around that to help you to move from just a 9-to-5 to actually being a valuable individual. The concept of the key person of influence is that the world is going to move away from corporations and big companies, and you're going to need more of an identity and more personality in the things that you do. And I agree. I think in the world of AI, where everything is just put through ChatGPT or OpenAI, then you actually need some real life experience. You need some real connection with the company that you're working with or the person that you're working with. And you see it all the time. Different companies now, you have, Richard Branson is getting involved with people. Elon Musk is a key person of influence, whether you like him or not. The point is that it is not about your expertise per se. It's about how you package it, how you pitch it, how you publish it, and the value that is transmitted or the value that is communicated in what you do, and how easily you are replaceable or not to be able to do that thing. So my main lesson from that book is, if you're looking for an alternative stream of income, the economy doesn't value quiet experts. It values people who can package their expertise. Those are 2 different things. So the main concept that Daniel Priestley was trying to get across was that within any organization, or even you as an individual, you will need to have some digital presence or digital footprint online, because the world is moving from the physical world to the digital space. And so to have some digital real estate, people will need to be online. People will need to have personal brands, which I'm going to speak about in episode 3, on what personal branding actually means, especially for doctors, and whether or not doctors should have a personal brand, whether they should be digitally online or not. I mean, I'm here, so clearly I don't think that there's much wrong with it. But if you stick around in episode 3, even for people who are introverts and don't like being online, I can show you how to have a digital presence without necessarily showing your face. Now, if you're somebody who wants to explore that, I have an accelerator starting in the next few weeks. You can sign up at drnix.com. I have an accelerator for people who want more options, ownership, and income beyond the traditional 9-to-5. Now, onto the second book. The first book was on influence. This book was on identity. And this book is super key, especially for doctors. And it's called The Courage to Be Disliked. It really made me realize what was driving my decisions. The force behind my decision making was pressure, external pressure, fear of failure, not being sure, like what if it doesn't work out? All of those things were built on what I felt the system needed from me, not what I needed from the system, or not from inside out, but it was outside in. And so this book completely changed the way I thought about the past too. I mean, if you're a doctor and you've committed 5 or 6 years to medicine, you've trained, you might be feeling like, actually, I've committed so much to this, and this is my identity. What would I do outside of this? If I step outside of medicine, what will my colleagues say? What will my family say? And this book really helped helped me break away from that. It made me realize that I am the determinant of my future, of my destiny. It's down to me. And these choices all depend on me. And quite frankly, nobody really cares about what you're doing. It's like if I'm combing, there's one anecdote in the book that if you're combing your hair, there's a guy who's combing his hair in the mirror. And his grandma says to him, I don't know why you're combing your hair so much. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you. You're the only one looking at yourself. And that is so true, even in life. If you don't go for what you want, nobody cares because they're all going for what they want, or they're also not going for what they want. But the point is, they're self-centered. They're thinking about themselves. So you need to think about yourself. It is your job to think about yourself and your career and what you want from life. My lesson from this book was you don't necessarily need another certification to make you feel confident about what you're doing. You just need the courage. You need the courage to do something different. You need the courage to stand in what you need for yourself. And sometimes that might mean that you are disliked. Now, book 3, and this was the ultimate book, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell. This book really, I read this book like 5 or 6 times. That's how powerful it was. Super powerful book. And this book is written by a plastic surgeon, and it's all about self-image and how you'll never outperform the story that you tell yourself. So if you tell yourself, no, I can't do anything outside of medicine, then guess what? You can't do anything outside of medicine. But if you tell yourself, I can have multiple streams of income, and I can be free, and I can decide how much I charge for people, and I can decide where I want to work, then you have that opportunity. That opportunity becomes open to you. Now, this book was super interesting because it's about a plastic surgeon who did plastic surgery for people and how that changed their lives or didn't change their lives, and how we all have goal-seeking mechanisms within us and how those mechanisms within us become true. So if our goal is to earn income by being an employee, then we will. And we will do everything in our power, subconsciously and unconsciously, to remain that way. But similarly, if you want to upgrade your identity and you want to become something different, you want to become, like, let's just use it as an example, you want to become a millionaire, and in your mind, you see yourself as a millionaire, then guess what? You're going to do all the things that are necessary and are possible to become a millionaire. But if you don't, then you won't. So, I mean, that's a very quick summary. I hope I've translated to you the power of those 3 books. Give them